So I couldn't recommend it highly enough to anyone out there who suffers any sort of low back pain.
My mom said the first time I got on that thing and inverted, she said the look on my face, I looked like I was so relieved, the pressure.
And I will continue to use it for my back for many years to come.
It's been one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my life.
I have 6 grandkids, and I am able to get on the floor and play with them. Thanks for being there for me. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work and stay upside down.
Man, it feels so good and just really relaxes you. I don't know that I'll ever not use this every day.
We use it every night right before we go to bed. We love our inversion table and we couldn't do without it.
I just really wanted to say thank you.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints. And the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
I am just beyond excited to make this Today Special available to you today. Welcome to this hour. I'm Callie Northagen. It has been 25 years since we've been offering this amazing piece of equipment. And in 25 years, we've never done it as a Today Special, ever. 25 years ago, we sold a different table, a different version at $299. 25 years later, we are here at the lowest price not only ever, but ever to be. So take advantage. If you are dealing with stress and strain, and who isn't, if you've got aches and pains and stiffness, do yourself a favor, decompress and de-stress and stretch and strengthen this way. It's the most fun side of fitness that there is. And this machine, by the way, is FDA regulated. It's a Class 1 medical device. It is UL listed, we're gonna talk about that, but look at the list of things that this is going to address for us. I mean, temporary relief, of course, of back pain, muscle tension, degenerative disc disease, spinal degenerative joint disease, spinal stenosis, herniated discs, spinal curvature from tight muscles, sciatica, muscle spasms, facet syndrome. I mean, this is something that I don't know of any piece of equipment out there in the world that can address some of the issues that this table can. And there's a reason why. It's been around for over 40 years. HSN picked it up 25 years ago, and it is our longest running piece of what we call our fun side of fitness in terms of equipment, and it has long been standing as the #1 bestseller, and there's a good reason. It's the best table you're gonna find in the marketplace. There are copycatters out there that claim to do what this does, but guess what? They have not been through the rigorous testing. They have not been cleared by the FDA to register as a Class 1 medical device, but this table has. You're getting the latest model from Teeter and a 10-year warranty, which is double the regular warranty, all at under $250 today. I mean, this is an incredible day to start the year, imagining living your life not stress-free, of course, but with something that can help relieve the stress of your day-to-day and the aches and the pains from living life on the planet, maybe from water skiing like Roger did, or golfing, or horseback riding, all the things we love to do. But speaking of Roger, we love him, miss him deeply. His beautiful daughter, Riley, is the CEO of the company. As you and Roger, your dad, were just like the most incredible pair to be together. And it's such a treat to have you. Thank you for spending New Year's Day with us.
Such a pleasure. And I'm glad you brought up my dad, because this really was his passion. This was his joy, is to come on to HSN and to be here, especially at the new year when so many people are making their New Year's resolutions, because it changed his life. He had debilitating back pain. He was waking up in the morning and he would have to roll onto the ground and crawl hands and knees on the floor to the shower to get hot water in his back just to be able to stand up. And like so many people, he tried everything and nothing worked until he was introduced to inversion therapy. Now, this concept is not new. It's been around since 400 BC, actually invented by Hippocrates, the father of medicine. This is time-tested for sure.
True statement.
But the way that they used to do it was difficult, right? People were putting on boots and they were having to hold onto a bar and then hoist themselves up. It was full inversion. And then of course, getting down was also incredibly challenging. And my dad's an engineer and he said, I know I can make something better. I can make something that is more accessible. More people can experience the benefits that I'm experiencing. And so he started this company in my parents' garage with my mom, my uncle, my grandpa, and honestly, I mean, crazy perseverance. It's really hard to start a company, and it was word of mouth, and he just went out there and shared it, and it grew from people having their own personal experiences and telling more people.
And that's why you would help everybody listening to call with your testimonial. Give us a call. Let us know how long you've been inverting, what it has done for you, how it's improved your life. I mean, we've got testimonials to share because people get in line to share the good news, to your point of it being word of mouth since the very beginning. But I mean, in all these years, I mean, millions of these tables. And this table, let's talk about what your dad did, because he was a stickler for quality. I mean, this is different steel, this is different construction than any other competitor out there.
Right, absolutely. I mean, his background is aircraft engineering, and so he knows how to engineer out fatigue failure. So what happens with regular steel, and this is what every other inversion table manufacturer uses, is just ordinary steel. It bends, it rips, it tears over constant use because we're flexing the machine. We use heat-treated high-carbon steel. It lasts longer, 73% longer, or stronger, lasts 10 times longer. And you can see here, this is the UL study that was done. This is Underwriters Laboratory. They're a third-party group that evaluates products for safety. And you can see that dash line there. That is the safety requirement. That's what they say is the basic level an inversion table should meet to be considered safe. Our table went past that. That's 30,000 cycles with a 300-pound robot on it. It went to 40,000 cycles, no failure, no problem. My dad jumped on, did setups. Every other table failed at about 10% of spec value. Like I said, broken, torn metal. So these are just a few of the testing requirements that UL puts our product through. And they do surprise inspections of the factory, so that's important. You're not just sending in one sample and they're going check, and then you're able to change. This is like, it's again and again, 4 times a year, random products are tested to make sure you're still holding 1,200 pounds, which is 4 times the safety factor. We say 300-pound user weight capacity, but it holds 1,200. Wow. So this testing is going on. We are the only table that is UL listed to the inversion table specification and FDA registered for those 10 different kinds of back conditions.
Yeah, we can't say that enough, because I mean, this was actually not always the case. When I first came to HSN almost 4 years ago, we couldn't really talk about this, but the FDA came to you guys.
Right, well, we had been selling inversion for 15 or so years and never able to make a claim. Yeah. I mean, even just saying back pain on HSN, when we introduced, I mean, thinking about this, we've been on here 25 years and we couldn't make half the claims, not even, hardly say anything. It was like, well, it's gonna relieve tension, it's gonna help relax you. And we stayed on because customers would buy and love it in 5-star reviews, and that kept us on the network. And then all of a sudden we got this FDA clearance for these 10 different kinds of back pain conditions, and we were really able to give the full story of why this is such a game-changing product. It is really able to go in and target the cause of the pain.
That's right.
That's the big deal. I mean, there are definitely things that you can take for all sorts of different kinds of pain that are masking, like your body's still screaming, you're just masking it. And that really is not changing your trajectory in wellness at all. It's not improving your health or your life.
That's why I love this table so much, because it's about the long term. And I personally, I mean, I don't have any of the issues on that long list that the FDA said that we can talk about, thankfully. at least not yet. But I still have this table and use it all the time because of tension in my neck.
Yes.
I get, like I was telling you earlier this morning, for me, lately I've just been having these terrible headaches. And I'm like, you know, I'm not a pill popper. I'm not on any medications, actually. I'm thankful to say, because I'm going to be 60 next month. But I do have, you know, the headaches and the chronic tension that I hold in my neck and my shoulders. In fact, just the other day, I felt like a kink, and I couldn't stretch it out. I laid on the table, and my producer Pat did this too the other day, and he's got the original table from 25 years ago that he paid $299 for.
Yeah,
just
when
saying.
we launched, $299 have never been below $299
Ever. That was the lowest
in 25 years.
Ever.
I know,
Not even
crazy.
one time have we ever done this price. But to my point, we both just find that it helps you wiggle into the right position to elongate that spine, and it's fascinating to hear about what our body needs. When you can release the pressure that might be on a certain nerve or a certain disc, that's where it can start feeding it again. As you describe it, it's kind of giving it the food it needs once that release is there.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you are literally dealing with pain in so many different ways and real relief. You are stretching and relaxing tense muscles. So if you have muscle tension and muscle spasm, muscle knots, it is helping to relax and release all of that tension. We all have that. If you're sitting all day or standing all day or just, you know, general stresses of life, realigning the spine, that is a huge one. If your spine gets out of alignment, it can cause pain. And then the real game changer is the decompression, because as you were saying, with the pressure on the discs, they lose moisture. Now, this is really important to understand because the discs get all their nutrition from that moisture. They don't have a blood supply. So as soon as you put your feet on the ground and you stand up and get out of bed, your discs are under pressure and they start squeezing that moisture out. And so if you have a herniated disc or sciatica or anything like that, that disc is under pressure from that moment and it's not getting its food and nutrition. Now, when you go to bed at night, of course, that disc gets some opportunity to recover, but because of the structure of the spine, there's muscles and ligaments that are holding the back in background compression. It's actually, by study, shows that to be about 25% of standing body weight is still on the spine when we lay down. Oh, here we go. Here is the study. So people allowed a pressure sensor to be surgically implanted in their lower lumbar, and they looked at different body positions and how that impacts the spine. I mean, back pain's become epidemic. It's like, why is it such a chronic condition? What's going on in the spine in our different activities? We all know you need to be careful when you bend down to pick something up, but this is really why they're saying sitting is the new smoking, because it is so hard on your body. When you take a load off and you sit down, you feel relaxed, but all that pressure without the muscle engagement is dumped into the spine.
And then bent over looking at a computer, right? You know, it's crazy, 250%. But even lying down, there's still a load.
There's still background compression. So if you have a misalignment, it's not gonna readily correct because it's still held into its misalignment. But the discs also need a lot of time to get the nutrition, to be able to soak up that nutrition that they need for recovery. And what the study found is you need to pull about 60% of your body weight to get the pressure in the disc to at or near zero. So Callie, this is so important that everybody understand this, because this is why it works. This is why there's thousands of reviews, almost all perfect 5-star, is because we're just giving the disc the opportunity to help itself, right? It gets the opportunity at night to get some recovery, but imagine if that disc had multiple opportunities throughout the day, and it takes just 3 to 5 minutes because we are getting the pressure in the spine to at or near zero. But if you could give that disc, you know, at your morning break or when you get home from work, before bed, multiple opportunities to get the nourishment that it needs. What difference is that gonna make for the herniated disc or helping to relieve the pressure on that pinched nerve? It's a game changer, it really is.
Oh, it has changed people's lives. In fact, we've got so many testimonials we wanna share with you. Again, we welcome you to join us live on the show and let other people know. I mean, your testimonial could literally change somebody else's life for the better because of your experience. For this table to be here at this price, it is a one-shot deal. We've never done it in 25 years at this low of a price. We'll never do it again. I can guarantee you that. And then there's the free shipping on top of that. We're gonna talk more about it, but I would love to listen to Bob's story. Bob is a golfer. And I mean, I was just really moved by his story. Anything else you wanna share about him?
I just think whether you're a golfer or not, the thing to understand here is that it's not just relieving the back pain, it's getting back mobility and flexibility. And you really need that for every activity that you love.
Yep.
And this is a way to get back to doing the things you enjoy and not worrying about the risk of being in pain.
So listen to Bob's story.
I love to golf. I walk 18 holes of golf every Sunday. I was hurting all the time. And golf was a chore. I wasn't hitting the ball that well. I saw the Teeter commercial and I saw one of the guys saying, he inverts and he gets out and he plays. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. After like 10 or 12 days, I was fully inverting and I'm flexing on it. And I'm like, wow, it's giving your spine a mini vacation because you're taking all that pressure off of it, letting it stretch out. It's given me a lot of motion back. My pain is reduced. My outlook is great. And I'm hitting the ball the best I've hit since I've been playing golf, since I was 30. I'm jazzed. I'm just, Every Saturday we take the grandkids for like 5 or 6 hours, and pretty much anything they want to do, I can keep up with them, and that's huge. I mean, that's quality of life. That's big stuff. You can't buy that. I mean, and that's what you want to do. Teeter helps me lead the physical life I want to live. I don't just endorse stuff unless it's made a big change in my life, and this is one of the things that's made a big change in my life.
Love his story.
I know.
Because it's so all of us in some way, shape, or form. Again, whether it's because you've got one of the list of issues that we talked about, or you're just stressed out, or you feel like, you know what, my posture could use a little bit of help. It's amazing for posture. It's amazing for so much in terms of stress relief.
Yes.
Body aches and pains, and the stretch that you feel here is absolutely glorious. I can't wait to get on the table. We're gonna show you how easy it is. By the way, you're getting all of the upgraded components. This is the latest model. So don't look at this price and think, oh, this is like 2 or 3 years ago. This is the latest model. You're getting at the lowest price ever in 25 years.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Ever.
It's pretty crazy in a world where everything's going up in price.
Right.
Something's finally coming down. So I really hope that this is the encouragement that you guys need to give it a try, because as I read through testimonials, I'm always impressed with how many people watch the show for years. Some of them before they buy it, and it's like, it made so much sense. I thought I could do it, but I was worried that maybe it'd be scary or I couldn't get back upright. So I want to cover all of that.
Yes, let's do.
So I want to show you guys how easy it is. We actually put it on the handle here. 1, 2, 3. And it's labeled exactly where the adjustments need to take place. So one is set your height. Now this is important to figure out your correct height on here, because it will determine your precision balancing.
And what is the range?
It's 4'8" to 6'6".
Got it.
300-pound user weight capacity, but it does have a 400% safety factor, so that means it holds 1,200 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, the second thing you want to do is set your maximum angle of inversion. Now, it's important that you understand that you never have to go to full inversion. You can go completely upside down, completely vertical.
That's what I like.
It feels amazing.
I
it
like
really
it.
does. Donna's over there going, yeah, that's what I like to do. People think I'm never going to do that. That sounds really terrifying.
No, it's not.
But
it's easy.
It feels so good. So, but you can set your maximum angle of inversion. That's the second thing. And then the third thing you're gonna do is lock in your ankles.
Jumping in.
So this is where you're gonna find that it's incredibly comfortable. I know people are also worried about this aspect, like you're gonna hold me by my ankles, but these were engineered over many, many years. Again, we've been doing this for 42 years, right? And these were designed in the last 5 years. And they are a foam inside and a hard outer core. Now you can see it's not just pinching me at my ankles, it's actually kind of rolled to the top of my foot and then cupped around the back. And it really makes it so it's just cradling in there. It's not like a clamp and hold, you know?
It's so true.
It's very comfortable. Now from here, you just lay back, and half my body weight's on one side of the pivot point and half my body weight's on the other. So it's simple weight displacement of moving my arms that rotates you into inversion. So arms are overhead, you're gonna go into inversion. When you put your arms back at your side, you're gonna rotate back upright, and if for some reason that doesn't bring you all the way up, just bend your knees.
And you know what's interesting is that the only reason it's not going to bring you all the way back up is because you've stretched.
Yeah.
You're taller.
Actually, Ebony, it's pretty cute.
It's awesome.
She's new to inversion, and we've been playing with her settings to get the perfect balance point. And it's like, at one point, she had stretched out, so we had to move it an inch. And then, you know, I mean,
what a
you
benefit.
definitely, and look at, she's shortened now. She's not even inverting with her
Isn't
arms
it
over her
funny?
head. Ebony, stretch out a little bit. Like, push your arms. There you go.
See how it stretches and moves her even more?
Yeah.
How many people do you talk to who are like, I used to be 5'6", and now I'm 5'4"?
Well, it's really true. You do lose height. And what's interesting is that height is all lost in the disc because there's so many joints, and each one is a little sponge there, and it thins out. And it does it on a daily basis. So when you wake up in the morning, you're the tallest you're gonna be, and then those discs start to lose moisture.
And
and
you notice it when you're driving home, and you're like, oh, I have to readjust my rearview mirror getting home from work.
And it gets worse as you get older. It gets more susceptible. You lose more height in a day, but you also start to permanently lose height. And we actually have an animation, it's called the aging spine animation, that shows exactly what happens as you age, because I think this is almost as important as the back pain, because this really is explaining mobility and flexibility, the ability to be active. As we were talking about my dad, 83 years old, and he's water skiing the slalom course, and he couldn't do that if he didn't have the flexibility and mobility. So we lose height. When we lose height, we lose our figure because we have the same body mass in a shorter column. It kind of like then bulges out in the center. But the real big deal is the height loss is in those discs. And when the bones then move closer together, you lose that range of motion and that flexibility. And that's what Bob was talking about too in that testimonial. My swing is better. You have that range of motion, that flexibility. And that really means a lot in just living your life.
Living the life to the fullest. I mean, as long as you can. I mean, life is so short, and time with our family is so precious. And if you're being restricted because you're not feeling up to it because it's a lower back issue, or it's an upper back issue, or it's wherever you're feeling the aches and pains, I am so all about trying the holistic approach. Try it. Because honestly, it has worked for not just a few people over the years. Millions of people. It's a proven way to deal with things that we're gonna deal with it at some point. So no matter what your age, this is something it is so fun, it is so easy, and I can't wait for you to try it, but don't wait. It is not gonna be this price ever again.
It's never been this price. Yeah, I mean, when we launched 25 years ago, it was $299. Yeah.
25 years ago, it was $299. Here we are. Fast forward to 2023, Happy New Year's, by the way, at $50 less than it's ever been, ever, ever, ever. And there's the man behind the story. He has changed millions of lives, and that was his passion. That was his mission on this planet.
It really was. I mean, it really, really was. And I feel very thankful that I get to continue on that legacy.
Absolutely.
I started in the family
This is his daughter, Riley.
over 23 years ago, right out of university. And I was not sure. I was actually on my way to grad school. I wanted to be a psychologist. And my mom said, please come work in the family business. And it was a really small little company then. And I came in and I started in customer service. And I would get these calls and people that just were calling to say thank you.
Oh my gosh.
And I decided at that point, like, I wanted to be a psychologist because I wanted to help people. I was really into community service. I spent a lot of time working in outreach programs. And I was like, if I really want to help people, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, that is an amazing story. I love it. I mean, what better thing to do during our lifetime than to help others and to give to others. I'd love to share with you a story of Teresa. She's a mom, a young child, and again, this is for all of us for lots of different reasons, but her story is amazing too.
Unfortunately, my back pain became a part of normal everyday life. I have to get up and I have to go to work. I have to take care of my son.
Whenever I would ask her if we could go to the park or play a little bit of baseball, she'd always say, oh, my back hurts, I can't do it. It made me feel sad for her.
I felt like the oldest lady in the world, which is so unfair to my son, so unfair to me. When I first saw the product on TV, I said, that makes so much sense. It just has to work. The first time I just sat there like, like this is great. I knew this is what it was going to feel like. I was waiting for this. It releases the tension in my muscles. It helped me temporarily take that pain away by stretching myself the opposite ways that I don't normally stretch. And it's just wonderful. It does so much more than just provide back relief.
I think it's helping her. She's been helping out with my baseball team.
And now it's almost 8, 9 o'clock sometimes, and the time just flies by because me and my son are having so much fun. The Teeter was heaven sent for me. It promises you relief, and it definitely provides you with that relief.
Oh my gosh, she not only made her life better, she made her son's life better and their relationship and their memories for a lifetime.
Well, it's really true. When you're hurting, it impacts your mental state, your emotional state, and that bleeds into your ability to deal with stress, to be able to handle your kids, your job, your everything. And I've talked to so many people that said, I didn't realize how bad I was until I started to feel better. And it's like, I realized how much my discomfort was impacting the joy in my life, my ability or interest in going out and socializing and doing things and playing baseball, like Teresa said with her kid, you know. I mean, these are the moments that matter. As we've been in isolation for so long and dealt with all of that, we realize how being alone impacts things, or not living our life impacts. And so why make the choice to isolate yourself or to
pain hurts, and pain takes so much energy.
It does.
It's
exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's a crazy thing, and it's so exciting to know that this is the option that has helped so many men and women of all age ranges. I mean, to live a more vibrant life, being free of the pain. I mean, you do it a couple of times a week, do it every day if you want. Some people love it in the morning. I love it in the morning because it gives me more energy and exhilarates, but I sometimes do it at night too because I come home and I'm just stressed. I mean, you know how your body is. It protects us in ways that, you know, are just innate, but tension is not our friend for our bodies. They need to stretch and relax.
Well, my big thing is right before bed, because I do carry so much tension in my back, in my upper back, from sitting at a desk all day, and I will get on my inversion table in my bedroom right before I go to bed. And it truly is that post-massage feeling. If you've ever gone in and had a nice relaxing massage and you come out and you're like, oh, you know, and you want to crawl into bed, and instead you have to drive home and, you know, make dinner for your kids or whatever. This is a nice, you know, like get that relaxed feeling. I'll do a couple stretches, pop my back, feel the release, and jump into bed, and my body is just, I fall asleep faster.
By the way, we haven't shown you how it takes up no space at all. I mean, in fact, right now, mine is my guest room, and I've got it folded up behind the door.
Right, yes,
that's where
behind
I put
the door.
And then it's so easy to just like, well, watch.
So I'm glad you brought this up, because after our last show, these guys came out and they were looking at it and they were like, oh, I really love everything you said, but I just don't have the room for it. And I said, watch this. And they go, why didn't you show everybody this? So to put it into the storage position, pull the pin all the way in, flip it opposite from use, and then close it up. So the footprint,
that's all the room it takes,
is about the size of a bath mat and an oversized ironing board.
Like I said, it goes right behind the door in my guest room. That's where I keep mine. And I mean, it's inevitable. Like I use it, and sometimes if it's out and open like this, my son's friends will come over. They're in their late 20s now, and they're like, oh, that's right, I love that thing. And they all get off of it and go, oh, thank you.
Oh, because of sports. It really is. I mean, I find it interesting how many people are like, I bought it for my husband because of his back pain, and my girls are using it because they're gymnasts or they're basketball, or it really is a family
The whole family and friends can use it. I mean, really, it's safe as any table you are going to find out there. And I say that with the most sincerity. There are copycats, and I get so crazy. I've seen some at different like boat shows and different things that I've gone to, and I'm like, oh, that's not the table that you should be buying, people. Get the Teeter table. It's the best table in the market, period.
Well, it's the only one that's FDA registered for those 10 different types of back conditions. It's the only one that's UL safety certified. I mean, and the reason that we have all these support from outside agencies is because the difference that we make in the product design. It is built for the benefits. And I know if you're watching and you're going, why does the bed look so firm? Listen, this is made for a purpose. This is a special decompressive surface. Your body needs to stretch and decompress. And when it stretches, it realigns and the discs rejuvenate. And what's funny is those copycats, the first thing they thought is, you know what would be amazing is memory foam. And it's like, well, it's not a bed.
That's funny because you stick to memory foam.
You stick to memory. I mean, imagine if you went and put memory foam on the playground slide. The kids would be like, you know, they would not go down it. And the whole concept is stretching, like I said. So we have a special decompressive surface. Your body slides on it, but it also allows us to put these special tracks in. And this allows for things like the acupressure nodes. These can be completely removed. They can be placed anywhere. There's 8 of them. There's different sizes. You get 2 of each size. And I usually just have one right at the knot. I have my mouse shoulder because I have a desk job. So it's like that mouse shoulder, release that tension. But this is the real big game changer. No other inversion table has this. They might have like a soft lumbar bridge that moves, but this being firm, this does something really unique. You line it up with the bottom of your hips and then it squares them. If you have ever been to a chiropractor, one of the first things they do is lay you down and they look at your leg length. And it's not because your legs are actually different lengths, but it's an indicator that the hips may have become twisted.
Shifted,
yeah, I mean, think about it. Your hips very easily become twisted because we sit with our legs crossed or a wallet in the back pocket, a phone in the back pocket. We do a lot of things that can throw our hips out of alignment. And when that happens, because the spine has to keep the head on straight, right? Your head can't be off crooked. So it will curve itself to bring your head back into alignment. So you will have this curvature in your lower lumbar making up for your hips being out of alignment. So we want to square the hips. And this works kind of like a little bumper here where your bottom will stop here. This will line up squarely with the hips.
And see how it's customizable? So it's for you, if your husband or your wife or your kids.
Yes, just pop it out. Takes a second, anywhere you want it. Bring it out. I know you don't have it on your table because we have mic packs, so that sit right here. But
it's more comfortable for that reason. By the way, I wanted to show you this too. The tether. This is for those of you who want to start and you're like, oh, what if I can't get back up? It is really, it's the easiest thing. But you can, with the tether, extend this a little longer, make it shorter, whatever you're comfortable with, because the truth is, you get the same benefits of inversion, even if you're only at 25 degrees of
I mean, the greater the angle, the greater the stretch, but you never have to go past 60 degrees to get all of the benefits. That's actually in that study that we watched earlier. That's the magic angle where you're pulling 60% of your body weight and the pressure in the spine gets to at or near 0. And again, that's important because the discs do not have a blood supply. The discs rely on the moments when the pressure is off of them to absorb the nutrition that they need for recovery and rejuvenation. So you can see here the 10 different causes of back pain predominantly that the FDA has listed the Teeter for. They're for back spasm, muscle tension, you can see it releases that. Realigning the spine. So if you have any misalignments, and then the decompression, and this is really when we're targeting degenerative disc disease, sciatica, herniated disc, facet syndrome, all those many other conditions that the FDA has indicated us for.
I think that's a really important segue to just make sure you've heard this part. This is an FDA registered Class 1 medical device. None of those things could be on this screen. None of those words could be spoken from our mouths if this wasn't absolutely verified. So please know, that's another reason I'm gonna say again, don't get a cheap model. Don't get something that's not this table. And especially don't get it any other day but today, because I mean, this table any other day is $100 more. This is in 25 years. The lowest price, because it's the only time we've ever done this as a Today Special. One time in 25 years. And you're watching to get the latest model at the lowest price in 25 years. And then there's free shipping. We don't even always do the free shipping. Sometimes if it's a Today Special, well, no, we've never even done a Today Special at $2.99. That was like a special feature price because it's a beginning of the year moment. But this is The first time ever is a Today Special, the lowest price that you're ever gonna have a chance to enjoy.
And you're getting the app. The free app.
Thank you. Let's talk about that.
So we have designed an app. A lot of products now have an app, but they're going to charge you $50 a month to be able to use it. Ours is free. It's on-demand videos. It's going to give you tips and tutorials, how to get it balanced perfectly for you, how to store it, as I just showed you, but also really goal-specific classes. So if you have sciatica, what stretches can I do to really help? Or if I want to regain flexibility, I want to do a pre-golfing inversion session, it's going to show you those. And then, of course, there's also meditation. My dad walks you through going in and out of inversion. It's really, really
I remember
helpful.
one time I was fully inverted and your dad gave me a neck rub.
Yeah,
I
know.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
So-
they are. Your mind is like, yeah,
your whole body just feels alive again.
Yeah.
It's just the best feeling. And you know who else is going to tell you about that best feeling is Allison, who's calling in this morning from Pennsylvania. Happy New Year, Allison. Thank you for calling.
Happy New Year, Miss Callie, Miss Teeter. It's nice to speak with you both.
You too. Thank you. I heard you bought your table a couple of years ago. Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this thing. You couldn't pay me double to return it, quite honestly. I love it. So I kind of analogize it. So years ago, I'm younger and I don't really have necessarily any like things that are strikingly, in pain or not, but I analogize it to like wearing arch support in your shoes. Why would you wait until you have foot problems to get in the proper alignment? So years ago, I thought this machine is going to stand the test of time. Like, why would I wait, honestly, until I maybe have some issues in my back or my neck or so forth? So I bought it and I tried it. Very easy to kind of put together. I did it myself actually, and then I used it, and now I use it all the time. I love that I own it and I can use it whenever I want. Some days more than others, based on need, to de-stress from work and for life and for health. And it makes me just feel incredible. I mean, it's more than stretching; it's like de-stressing for me. And I also bought a year later, I came back and I also bought the Teeter Inversion heated massage mat or whatever that I see you guys sell still on your site now. And I use it for the heat with that too. So it's really awesome.
Oh, I love that whole story.
Yeah, it's so smart that you are taking a preventative approach. I know we spend so much time talking about back pain, but really what this is care and maintenance for your spine. And by inverting regularly, you are keeping your posture in the best possible position because we are all doing silly things like leaning over, looking at our phones, tech neck, all of that. This is helping to combat that. But also the decompression and regular hydration of the disc is going to help you maintain your flexibility and mobility as you age.
So Allison, if somebody's watching and thinking, I don't know, that's for somebody with big problems, or I don't know, what would you say to somebody? I mean, your story is so great, but.
Well, I was that person without any, aches or pains necessarily. And I'm telling you, it is a life changer for me day in, day out, for the flexibility, the stretching, the de-stressing, which of course impacts every area, I think, of your health and wellness. And really translates, but also the app. Sometimes I'll use the app, and I love that it's free. I never have to pay for it. The programs are always there. And also, I think Teeter is a really amazing company. I also own their LT3 free step in the gym that I set up in my house. So I really believe in Teeter. Trust me, I'm like a walking testimonial.
Well, it's a great quality product line, and we really thank you so much, Allison. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Thank you for letting me speak.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. It's so true. I mean, I said it earlier that like I don't have some of the issues that, this is specifically designed to deal with. Those are hard issues. Yeah. I do it for the same reason Allison does, just to like let go of the stress of the day. Yeah. And it's holistic, it's natural, it's not a pill. I mean, as we always say, temporary, because everything we do is temporary. A pill is temporary.
It's like brushing your teeth, right? I mean, right now we're talking about to, you know, it's like you have back pain, you have a cavity, you know, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say you don't start brushing your teeth after you get the cavity.
Right, well.
Even though that we're talking to everybody that has back pain right now and we're focusing on the people that have back pain, it really is best to get it before you really feel the pain. Because I want to point something out really huge.
Sure.
Have you ever talked to people that have a back issue and they say, it was so dumb, I was making the bed or I was blow drying my hair?
Yes.
And the reason is that actually that disc has probably sustained damage many, many times. And we actually don't have nerve receptors and pain receptors deep within the disc. So it starts getting damaged. And it's not until you have a blowout.
It's so true
so
that you notice.
Yeah, it's like people will have a football injury or just anything, just like they've been sitting at work for years and years and years, and then they go
One day they just
to pick up the groceries and it's
stand
like,
up the same
what
way.
happened? Yeah, I mean,
know.
or a long car trip or whatever, and it's like, that actually wasn't the moment that blew out your back. You've been damaging it for a long period of time. It just didn't decide to start telling you.
I think that's why it's inevitable. For at some point, you will have one of the more serious issues. But this is that wonderful maintenance program. I mean, I remember one time I just went to reach for a brush. I literally was like brushing my hair.
I know.
Like what?
It's always
so
a
crazy.
Story that's the smallest thing. Blow drying hair, making a bed. It's something where they just go.
Well, and inevitably, this has happened to me too, because every spring, you know, you're out in the garden.
Yes, gardening. Oh
mulch.
gosh, yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh gosh, there it is.
Yeah,
so it's there for the bigger issues, but it's also there for just the day-to-day de-stressing.
Preventative. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do something that we didn't talk about, but I'm gonna take my tether off because I don't use the tether at home.
Okay.
The tether is there for a reason. For those of you who are uncomfortable at the idea of like, what do I do if I can't get back up? We're gonna show that to you actually because it's really easy, easy, easy. So I'm gonna take my tether off, and this way I can go full inversion. I may not go all the way, but if you want, you can do it that way. The benefits start the minute you get on the table.
Yeah, they really do. Now, you may not lock out in full inversion right now because I have your 3-hole hinge set to the B setting. So there's different settings on the 3-hole hinge. Now that's important to understand. Only when you're assembling it, you kind of make a decision based off of your weight and how responsive you want it to be. So all of us here pretty much are set in the B setting.
See how when I'm moving my arms, it helps it move?
Yeah. So it is designed to be incredibly responsive. Exactly. Kelly's pointing out that she wants to come back upright. She puts her arm at her side and she's kind of doing a little bit of what we call intermittent traction or oscillation, where she's going down and then she was coming up a little bit. I know some of you are going, that seems like, whoa, intense, but it actually feels really good. It's creating a pumping action in the disc and just really helping to realign and relieve pressure. And then as you can see, she's underneath her table, she has our mat, which is something that you can purchase, but it has all the stretches and exercises. And we do also give those to you for free on our app. You can watch classes and see all of those. But those were actually designed by the US military. So they did a 6-year evaluation with Teeter products. And they found that the troops that were inverting after basic training and they were able to decompress and realign were less likely to experience any joint pain, right? That's huge. 6 years of evaluation, and that was their determination. Because a lot of times when we're running or jumping or we get a misalignment in our spines, our body responds to that. In fact, if you've ever thrown out your back, you've probably gone, that is really gonna hurt tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the muscles tighten and the joint's out of alignment and the muscles go, oh my gosh, this isn't supposed to be here, and it splints that misaligned joint, gets very tight, you end up with muscle tension, muscle spasm. And so if you've done that, if you've gone out and gardened or had basic training in the military, and instead of going to bed, you come home and decompress and realign that joint, you can just go around that whole problem, right? You don't have to have the tight muscles and all of that because you've moved the joint back into alignment.
You know, it just occurred to me, and this is, you know, this is real. This is live TV. This is reality as much as reality can be reality. How many of you are guilty of like, okay, come home, oh, feel some aches and pains, and you reach for, you know, a bottle?
Yeah.
You know, a nice little drink is gonna maybe, but guess what that is? It's just, it's gonna just make it feel a little bit better in that moment, but then you think it's better, so then you pretend it, you know.
Well, and it can increase inflammation in the area, and you're actually potentially getting into a downward cycle, especially if it's followed by you sitting on the couch. Because when we become less active because of the pain, the muscles begin to atrophy and weaken. And that is, when you go to a doctor and you start talking to them about your back pain, one of the things they're gonna talk to you about is your muscle strength. And if your muscles are weak, they cannot properly support your spine. So by using the teeter and keeping your back from dealing with the pain, and you're able to be active, you can keep those muscles strong and supporting your spine.
You said something earlier, I'm gonna go back into inversion because it feels so good. And I've said this, I've shared this story with you many times on the air. When I was a little girl, I was 12 years old, I was visiting my grandparents, and they took us to a big date at the park to go swimming. And I was gonna go down the slide thinking I was going into the deep end, and I went into the shallow end, and I just went boom, and it just, Since that day, I've always had lower back issues. I mean, sometimes you've heard me complain about it over the years, but it's why I first got my first inversion table. I'm on my second now because I donated mine to a friend and got a newer model a couple years ago. But it's my go-to. It's like whether it's because that acts up or because I've just got a kink in my neck and I can't seem to stretch it out. Instead of, and I'm proud to say I'm not on any medications, even though I'm gonna be 60. And I wanna keep it that way. And I don't wanna reach for something that's gonna be a Band-Aid that's just gonna, once I rip it off, it's still right there, you know? It's like I want the holistic
there's some medications that you just have to have, but there's other ones that there absolutely is a workaround, you know, and back pain is one of them. When you're talking about pain pills that actually don't do anything in helping you feel better or be better, right? They help you feel a little better, but they're not changing your situation at all. This is something that's truly going to the source of the ache. If the nerve is pinched, take the pressure off of it. If the disc is damaged, it has degenerative disc disease, it has a herniation, it's slipped, it's bulged, going in and actually taking the pressure off and letting those discs rejuvenate with the nutrition that they need. I mean, here we're seeing exactly what's happening. You're using your own body weight, the body weight that's compressive while upright, to pull traction on the spine. It's stretching and relaxing tense muscles. It's realigning the spine. Now think about that. That's usually an appointment that you have to make to have that done. And here's the big game changer. You are stretching out that spine, and when you do that, the pressure in the spine gets to at or near zero because discs don't have a blood supply. They are not getting nutrition from blood. They are waiting on the moments when the pressure's off them to absorb the nutrition that they need. It cannot be done throughout the day. Even when you lay down at night, there's background compression in the spine, which means recovery takes many, many hours. When we invert, we get the pressure in the spine to at or near zero, and those discs can get the recovery and the rejuvenation that they need during the day, even multiple times during a day. Only takes 3 to 5 minutes. That's the thing. I really want you guys to understand, you never have to go to full inversion. You never have to stay on this for a long period of time, 3 to 5 minutes, because—
And guess what? It never hurts. You'll never break a sweat. I mean, unless you're doing upside down sit-ups like your dad did. But honestly, it feels so good. It's soothing, it's relaxing. It's what you'd want an experience to be, especially if you're dealing with any kind of pain or, you know, any kind of acute pain, especially. This is something that you will love for every reason. Just to get on it, to relax like I just did, and to get up and feel like the blood is flowing through my body and the oxygen is there again, and I have more energy. Your dad used to call it, you feel giddy.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you so often find yourself like drugged down by whatever you're doing, a long day at the office. We're fortunate because we have these all throughout our office, but I will find people hanging upside down all over the place because, you know, you've been sitting in a chair, you get all like, crunchy and crusty, and you're like, okay, I need to like go wake up. And going and inverting really does give you that rejuvenation because your muscles stretch out, all that like jammed up feeling that you get in your neck muscles, your shoulder muscles, all of that releases your back, which is taking a beating by sitting. I mean, sitting is the new smoking as far as your spine is concerned, but also your lymphatic fluid. Like
that's true.
Your heart is pumping your blood, but your lymphatic fluid is waiting for your body to move to cleanse it out.
Great point.
So it does help by putting your legs over your head to help drain and cleanse the body of that. If you have varicose veins, cleansing those out.
By the way, do you notice how when I'm on this, and I took the tether strap off, I'm just using my arms to kind of give myself the weight towards my head. And if you're ready to come up, you can use one arm. If the other arm doesn't get you all the way up because you've stretched so much, bend your knees.
Yeah.
And it'll bring you right up to that position.
You are never getting stuck.
You
are
never
get stuck.
Feels...
Bring your weight footward, you come up. Yep. Move your weight headward, you invert.
It's the best feeling ever. Okay, here's the thing. I know we've got a clock that, you know, this is just a 1 hour show. There's going to be a couple more airings today, but yes, it is here for the first time in 25 years as a Today Special. We have never done this as a Today Special. This is the first time, and it's the lowest price in 25 years that we've ever done. That's huge. Please, if you've ever wanted it, you've thought about it, maybe you resisted, do it today. I mean to tell you, no shipping. That's normally not free, but it's free, and this is the lowest price by far that we've ever done in 25 years. And it's only $50 to get yours delivered. $50. That's a copay for most of us to go to a chiropractor.
A couple massages. You can't even, by the time you've tipped and, you know.
Maybe 2 massages.
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, really, you'll own this, you will love it. My producer, Pat, has had his for 25 years. He bought the original table 25 years ago for $299.
I know. It's insane. It is insane.
It really is the day to do it. I don't want you to hesitate. Just do it. Read testimonials. You heard Allison, who called in live. We've got other testimonials to share. Kevin, I would love for you to listen to. He's one of those heavy-duty workers, a city utility worker, and I'd love to share his story before our time is up. So take a listen.
I'm an iron worker. I've been an iron worker for 34 years now, and from when I first started, I had a bad back. When you have a bad back, you're limited. I tried everything. I got on the teeter, and then I just got upside down, and I stretched out, and the first time I twisted, I felt like this is something right here. I felt it like just alleviating, just stretching. Now I can go out, I can go play basketball, go walking with the kids. It doesn't matter, because I'm already stretched out. I'm limber. This is the best investment I ever made on my back. I'm a new person. That's what I came to be. I'm a new person. That's how I feel.
You can tell he's just got vigor again in his life. He's out there running the dog, and that's some heavy-duty work that he endures on a day-to-day basis.
That's a long duration of damage done, and having something. I mean, read the reviews. One thing that just stands out to me again and again in the reviews is freedom. Like, freedom to do what I want to do, freedom in the fact that there's always relief right in your house, freedom that it's natural, that you're not damaging your body by taking something, that you are actually going in and not just targeting the source of the ache, but the entire spine is benefiting.
Yeah,
it's giving you back your flexibility, your mobility, the ability to be active.
And by the way, I know that, as I said, this is the lowest price we've ever done. When we say read the reviews, there are other tables on our website. This is the latest table, but read what the reviews are, because this is new. This is a whole new item number, or SKU as we call it. So knowing, and look at the vast majority are all perfect 5-star reviews.
Yeah, yeah, and they're really like people that have said, I was really scared. I didn't think I could do it. I thought maybe it wouldn't help, and then here I am feeling 100% different.
I just realized those reviews were on a $450 table.
Yeah.
This is the same table.
Yeah, I know. I know, but the benefits are the same. This table has absolutely all of the essentials. You are getting the specialized decompressive bed. You're getting the acupressure nodes that are gonna help you target any muscle tension. You're getting the lumbar bridge. This is the big game changer for squaring the hips. No other inversion table on the market can do that. It's gonna increase the decompression in the lower lumbar. So if you have sciatica or anything happening in your lower back, this is really gonna help you target that area. We are the only brand that's UL safety certified. This table is as well, not just the $450 one, but this one today at $250 has that UL safety certification. I mean, we have the same wraparound ankle supports. I mean, we just couldn't take away any of these essential features that are really what give you the benefits. Everything that will give you the same results is on this table. You're gonna be comfortable. You're gonna be able to control your maximum angle of inversion. You're gonna get all the accessories and the specialized bed.
300-pound weight capacity.
Right, same weight capacity,
Yep.
same steel.
Same
That's
steel.
like the strength of the products, both of the products, the $450 one that you see on the website and this one have the 300-pound weight capacity with a 400% safety factor tested to 1,200 pounds, same heat-treated steel that's 73% stronger, 10 times more durable than ordinary steel that is on every other brand inversion tables.
That's why Teeter is the best in the market, hands down. We've never had another brand of inversion table at HSN because Teeter is the best.
Yeah.
Why would we?
If you guys have the slide with the testing, let's see that again.
Sure,
there we
let's do
go.
that.
Yeah, because I think this is really important for you to understand. This table today is $250. You're not going to find many other tables out there cheaper than this, but there are some. And that's what you get, though. It's important for you to understand. They fail at 10% of spec value, and
7%,
that is
11%, 12%. You went to 133%. Well, wait, I mean, look at how much more testing you endured.
That's because we use specialized steel. That is really the game changer. It costs more money to use heat-treated high-carbon steel, but that's why your producer has his table that he bought 25 years ago.
It's a Teeter
and he's still using it. And so many of the testimonies, you gave away one and upgraded. A lot of them are like, I'm on my third one. I keep giving them away because I'll run into somebody. I mean, honestly, I have one in my bedroom and I will come home. I can't tell you how many times because my husband's in construction and my table's gone. I'm like, Chris! He's like, oh, I ran into a plumber that...
Oh, he gives them.
He gives them away.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
All the time. Because when you have a solution for somebody, you can't watch
It's the truth.
And
my friend Norma is a housekeeper. She works really hard every day, and I'm like, you need this table.
Yeah.
So I love that I helped somebody in that regard, and so many of you, I mean, Allison for calling today and sharing her experience, it's helped other people make the decision. I just realized too, 10-year warranty is included on this. That is normally a 5-year. So to speak to the quality of the steel and the machine, or the table itself, a 10-year warranty, that is double the normal warranty that you're getting with this, even though it's at the lowest price of all time. And it just dawned on me, here we are. Okay, it's 1 o'clock Eastern time. It's 10 o'clock on the West Coast. There's a lot, this is gonna sell so fast as the day goes along because people are now just getting up from their New Year's parties and their hangovers.
Yeah, they're sitting on the couch.
They've been sleeping in and like, oh, God. But as the day goes on, people get more of, sound mind. This is gonna be such a fast seller. And I mean, 2000